Wednesday morning, October 25, 2023, a tragedy unfolded in Dallas, Texas when the lifeless body of a woman was found abandoned on the roadside. The victim had gunshot wounds on the chest, and it seemed she was shot on the scene the previous day. When the police arrived, they discovered that the body belonged to Dishaye Stevenson, a 34-year-old businesswoman, wife, and mother. The previous night, she had been with her husband, Michael Smith, but by morning, she was on the roadside dead. The most unsettling part of the story is that Michael, her husband, was the last person to see her alive. This shocking turn of events would later be linked to mounting tension between the couple and the shocking discovery of the main reason an innocent woman was murdered. This is the tragic story of Dishaye Stevenson, a woman whose life ended too soon. Before we go further into the events that transpired, we would like to offer our condolences to her loved ones, especially her teenage daughter, who must now face a life without her mother. Also, we would like to take this crime case as a close reminder to everyone to recognize warning signs in relationships. The story takes us to Dallas, Texas, a city situated in the southern United States, in North Texas. Unfortunately, it has a relatively high crime rate, with around 46 crimes per 1,000 residents, which is almost double the state average of around 27 crimes per 1,000 people. This could also be because Dallas is a very large city. Born on November 16, 1988, Dishaye Stevenson was the epitome of a self-made woman. She had built a life for herself in Dallas, where she ran multiple successful businesses. Dishaye had a boutique called Shea Money Purses and More LLC, where she sold a variety of fashion items like male and female clothing, purses, hats, lashes, and more. She also operated a tax preparation service, helping clients file tax refunds, which can be a good source of income in the United States. Dishaye's drive for financial independence was very impressive, and she knew this. In fact, her Facebook nickname is listed as Money Mac Dishaye, and on Instagram, it's Shea Money. Dishaye was not shy to promote her business or tell the world that she was a thriving businesswoman. Because she was a hard worker, her businesses grew. She had just acquired a space in May 2022 that she had hoped would become her long-term shop. She thanked God for being able to get her store and was congratulated by friends. Dishaye was also very close with her family and friends. She enjoyed cooking and having family gatherings. She wasn't just passionate about her business ventures. She also loved helping people, which made her loved by those who worked with and around her. She was generous with her time, love, and money, especially toward her family and friends. Now, let's talk about her personal life. Dishaye's world revolved around her 16-year-old daughter, Maya, whom she showered with love and care. She was married to her husband, Michael, but Maya was from a former relationship. Dishaye loved her husband, but she was also a doting mother who made sure her daughter had everything she needed, even giving her a new car for her 16th birthday, which was a symbol of her hard work and the life she could build. It was clear that family was important to Dishaye because she also posted videos of her nieces, nephews, and even her goddaughter to wish them a happy birthday. She was also the primary caretaker for her mother, who had suffered a stroke and was left partially paralyzed. Balancing her entrepreneurial ventures with her caregiving responsibilities, Dishaye's life was a constant juggle, but she did it with grace, always with a smile on her face. Despite her successful and demanding life, Dishaye still found time to be a life-of-the-party type of person. She had a larger-than-life personality, always ensuring that everyone around her felt good. Even with all the good things happening in Dishaye's life, her relationship with Michael Smith, her husband, would take a drastic turn. Michael Smith, 39 years old, had been a significant part of Dishaye's life for years. To those looking in from the outside, he seemed quiet and easygoing, which appeared to be a fitting match for Dishaye's energetic personality. They had been in a relationship for a long time, experiencing the usual ups and downs of couples. However, their relationship was more complex than it appeared on the surface. Dishaye had maintained a long-distance relationship with Michael while he was incarcerated. Her loyalty to him never wavered during his time in prison, which began in 2016. Throughout his incarceration, she visited him, called him, and remained faithful, waiting for him to come home. This unwavering support was a testament to Dishaye's loving and empathetic nature. When Michael was released from prison on May 17, 2021, Dishaye wanted to ensure he felt appreciated and loved after missing out on so much. She planned a significant surprise for his return, a wedding. Just a week after his release, they tied the knot on May 24, 2021, at the courthouse. Later, on September 9, 2022, Dishaye hosted an elaborate wedding celebration for them, taking care of everything from the rings to the entire ceremony. Given Michael's recent release from prison, Dishaye became the sole financial provider in their relationship. Despite this potentially awkward situation, she didn't seem to mind. In an Instagram post, Dishaye expressed her deep love for Michael, writing, "I already married the love of my life on May 24, 2021. I really prayed and cried out to God to send me somebody to love me for the real me. God sent me a king. My husband is so faithful to me. He's not running around making me look stupid. My husband is one of a kind. Good, bad, happy, or sad. That's my husband. I cry so much before. I never felt this kind of love before. It's scary because he treats me like a queen. He shows me what love really means. I married a man, not a little boy." Dishaye's love for Michael was expressed in extraordinary ways. She supported him financially, emotionally, and in every aspect she could. To her, she had married a king who loved her and treated her like a queen. She lavished him with love, funding extravagant vacations and throwing lavish birthday parties where she gifted him expensive presents like a diamond ring and even $10,000 in cash. Dishaye consistently went the extra mile for Michael, handling all financial and planning aspects of their life together. Their marriage appeared to be a celebration of their bond, seemingly kept alive by Dishaye's financial and emotional investments. However, beneath this surface of apparent marital bliss, there were troubling signs that would later come to light. Michael's background starkly contrasted with Dishaye's. Growing up in a challenging environment, he had to fend for himself from an early age. Unlike Dishaye's supportive family dynamic, Michael's history was marred by drug abuse and a stint in prison, which put him significantly behind his peers in terms of financial stability and social status. As Dishaye's businesses flourished and her reputation as a successful entrepreneur grew, Michael's resentment and jealousy intensified. This dynamic is not uncommon in relationships where there's a significant disparity in career success between partners. Men, in particular, may experience feelings of inadequacy, threats to their masculinity, and fears about changing relationship dynamics when their female partners outperform them professionally too. Traditional gender roles and societal expectations often exacerbate these feelings, leading men to question their value and role in the relationship. Research has shown that economic distress and perceived financial strain can significantly increase the risk of intimate partner violence too. In couples experiencing high levels of subjective financial strain, the likelihood of intimate partner violence rises to 9.5%, compared to 2.7% in couples with low levels of financial strain.
Who overthinks everything? Who showers less? Who is always eating? Who has a nicer butt? Who is more possessive? Who drools more? Who is a better driver?
Despite noticing subtle changes in the relationship, friends and family failed to grasp the full severity of the situation. Dishaye, ever loyal, continued to lavish attention and gifts on Michael, buying matching clothes and covering all expenses in an attempt to show her love and support. However, Michael's jealousy extended beyond Dishaye's professional success. He became increasingly possessive and controlling, a pattern that worsened as his drug addiction resurfaced. The once loving relationship became fraught with tension and red flags. More frequent arguments and fights began to take their toll on Dishaye. The man she had sacrificed everything for, the one she believed would be her source of peace, had transformed into someone unrecognizable. Tragically, this same person would ultimately become her murderer. On October 21, 2023, Dishaye Stevenson called her sister Jasmine to wish Jasmine's son a happy birthday. During their conversation, Dishaye made a chilling statement. "Sister, I feel like I'm going to die." Jasmine, taken aback, brushed it off at the time, not realizing the gravity of her sister's words. Dishaye had promised to bring a gift for her nephew but never showed up.
She called me, she wished me happy birthday. He was like, you know, normal, whatever. We was laughing, joking. And then she just said, like, sister, I feel like I'm finna die.
On October 24, 2023, Dishaye's 16-year-old daughter became concerned when she couldn't reach her mother. This was highly unusual, as Dishaye was known for always being in touch with her daughter and for her role as a caregiver to her partially paralyzed mother. The family's concern grew as they began searching for Dishaye. When the family contacted Michael Smith, Dishaye's husband, he denied knowing her whereabouts. They tracked Dishaye's car to the Pleasant Village apartments, where Michael's father lived. Jasmine Stevenson and their cousin, Nita, noticed a large handprint on the driver's window of Dishaye's car, raising suspicions. Shortly after, they learned from a community blog about a woman found shot to death nearby. Upon arriving at the scene, officers confirmed their worst fears. The police investigation quickly uncovered disturbing evidence. In Michael's car, they found red bodily fluids, a bullet casing, and a single sandal matching what Dishaye had last been seen wearing. Surveillance footage showed both Dishaye and Michael arriving separately at the apartment complex, with Dishaye then getting into Michael's car. A disturbance was observed inside the vehicle. Dishaye's body was discovered on the morning of October 25, 2023, on the side of a road in Dallas, Texas. She had been shot at close range in the chest. As news of Dishaye's death spread, law enforcement launched a manhunt for Michael. They tracked him to his home, where they found multiple firearms, and later apprehended him at a nearby barbershop. Michael claimed he had been under the influence of PCP at the time of the shooting. Michael Smith, 39, was arrested and charged with murder. He remains in custody with a bond set at $1 million. The case is currently set for a jury trial, with Smith having been indicted by a grand jury for murder. This tragic event has left Dishaye's family, especially her 16-year-old daughter, devastated and searching for answers. Jasmine Stevenson expressed the family's pain, asking, "Why would you take my sister from us?"
She did everything. My sister did everything for him. It was nothing he could ask her for. She did everything. She did everything in her power to show him that she loved
The investigation
him.
into Dishaye Stevenson's murder continues as authorities piece together the tragic final moments of her life. Michael Smith remains in custody, held on a $1 million bond. If he cannot pay this substantial amount, he will remain in jail until his court date is set and he is sentenced. Dishaye's family is left heartbroken, struggling to comprehend the senseless violence that took their loved one. Her 16-year-old daughter, who shared a close bond with her mother, is especially devastated. Dishaye had been a constant presence in her life, always ensuring she was cared for and loved. Now, the teenager must grapple with the loss of not only her mother but also the man who had been a part of their lives for years. Jasmine Stevenson, Dishaye's sister, expressed the family's pain and confusion. She knew something was wrong when her niece called, as Dishaye never left her daughter or partially paralyzed mother unattended. Jasmine voiced frustration over the red flags present in the relationship that weren't fully recognized in time to prevent the tragedy. She noted that Michael always appeared nice and friendly in front of the family, making his actions even more shocking. Why? Why would you take her away from us? She gave you everything, and you still took her life, Jasmine asked, heartbroken and enraged. Anita Stevenson, Dishaye's cousin, revealed in an interview that just days before the incident, Dishaye had spoken about wanting to save her marriage at all costs. This makes the story even more heart-wrenching, as the person responsible wasn't a stranger but her husband, the man she had supported through his incarceration and beyond. Court records show that authorities built their case based on surveillance footage and physical evidence from Michael's vehicle, including red bodily fluids, a bullet casing, and one of Dishaye's sandals. Multiple firearms were also found during a search of his residence. The family is confident that the evidence is sufficient to secure a conviction. This tragic case highlights the complex dynamics of domestic violence, particularly in relationships where one partner feels overshadowed by the other's success. Michael's feelings of inadequacy, compounded by his substance abuse issues, likely contributed to the fatal confrontation. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of recognizing warning signs in relationships and the need for support systems for those experiencing domestic abuse. As Dishaye's family mourned their devastating loss, they also called for justice. They grappled with haunting questions. Why had Michael committed this heinous act? What triggered such violence? And most crucially, how had they missed the warning signs that might have saved Dishaye's life? Dishaye's tragic death illuminates the broader issue of domestic violence. Michael's feelings of inadequacy, likely exacerbated by Dishaye's financial success and independence, combined with his substance abuse issues, may have fueled his violent outburst. His inability to accept Dishaye's achievements became a source of tension, ultimately leading to the fatal confrontation. This aligns with studies showing that men's economic frustration or inability to fulfill societal expectations of being the breadwinner can contribute to the perpetration of physical and sexual violence within the home. Domestic violence often goes unnoticed, especially when the signs are subtle. In Dishaye's case, her love for Michael and her desire to support him may have blinded her to the dangerous undercurrents in their relationship. She believed that her loyalty, financial support, and devotion would be enough to keep the relationship stable. However, Michael's toxic behavior and substance abuse issues created a volatile situation. This case highlights the complex dynamics of power and control in abusive relationships. The National Council Against Domestic Violence notes that batterers often begin and continue their behavior because violence is an effective method for gaining and keeping control over another person. Michael's actions fit this pattern, using violence as a means to assert dominance over Dishaye. As we reflect on this tragic case, it's important to consider the various factors that may have contributed to the violence. Was it Dishaye's success that triggered Michael's actions? Was it primarily a financial issue, or were there deeper, ingrained patterns of aggression? These questions underscore the complexity of domestic violence situations and the need for comprehensive support and intervention strategies. By sharing Dishaye's story, we hope to raise awareness about the warning signs of domestic violence and the importance of seeking help. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out to local support services or national hotlines for assistance. Remember, no one deserves to live in fear or under the threat of violence. Thank you for watching this video and engaging with this important topic. Your thoughts and experiences shared in the comments below can help others learn and potentially recognize warning signs in their own relationships. Together, we can work towards breaking the cycle of domestic violence and creating safer communities for all.